Right, okay guys, so I picked up another Masterverse figure. It's the new Eternia version of Trap Jaw. Now, if you know anything about these figures, these are the 7-inch figures, fully posable. And basically you have a choice between the original art look and the original concept artist look. You can switch between the two. So before we unbox this, because as usual, I've bought more than one so that we can get this out of the box. Let's have a look at the box art. I mean, look at that. That looks fantastic, doesn't it? We've got all these different looks, different weapons. There's even a picture down there in the bottom. But don't worry, we're going to look at that artwork there. That looks great, doesn't it? Comic book art at its best. Yep. So don't worry, we're going to get this out. Let's get it out of the box right now and take a look. Right, okay guys, so this is Trap Jaw from the new Eternia Masterverse line. Now you'll notice the gun's not attached. There's a reason for that, because it comes in the packaging separate. And oh, and I've just noticed that looks really bent, don't it? Now that's going to need some hot water treatment. Now there is a tip here guys, in case you did not know this. So if you ever get something like this where it's crooked as hell, put it into a cup with a bit of hot water, and then you can manipulate it into being straight, and you just got to hold it until it cools down, and 9 times out of 10 it will stay there. Just a little tip for you. So anyway, so before we do anything, let's put the gun in his arm. Wow, now that is pretty stiff to get in there. That's what she said. But yeah, oh look at that. That does look pretty good though, don't it? That mechanism. Right, so before we get him on the turntable, let's have a look. So we got the head. It's got a nice, is it a ball joint? Yeah, it is a ball joint. And I think, if I'm right, his jaw moves. Yeah, it does. Yeah, that's pretty cool, look. Oh, it's getting out of focus. I've had an update on this bloody app, and it's been really bad the last few videos for focusing. So yeah, so that opens and closes. So we've got that ball joint. We've got this part here now. Does that come off? I think we can take it off if we want to. I'm not going to, though. I'm going to leave that, because these things have a habit of getting loose, and this is my display one, so I don't want it falling apart. The belt obviously comes off, you can see that. Now the belt will come in handy because you've got little places that you can attach the tools on here. So shoulder joint, yeah, like most of these. Yeah, just above the bicep. Elbow joint, good movement, and it should be the wrist, which is not moving. Hang on, let's manipulate that. Yeah, the wrist is still quite stiff, but yeah, that moves round, and it should also go in and out, which it does, yeah. Chest normally moves, although I have found with a lot of these just of late, they don't move that much, which this one obviously doesn't either. Obviously we should look at the other arm, because this one's very different. It's like a socket, but it is also on a ball, so there's a lot of movement in that. I'm quite impressed with that. That's very clever. Waist turns as usual. Then we've got the top of the legs. We should have, yeah, so you can do the splits with him like most of these. And then you've got to see the seam there at the top of the leg, so you can turn the leg. And we come down to the knee joint, which has got a lot of movement to it. And I think that is like most, a double knee joint, I think there. Then we get down to the bottom. Just having a look there. That one's a little bit, it does move side to side, but not much. And it does move backwards and forwards. It's where it's a new figure, it's quite stiff, as you can imagine, but let's get him on the turntable. I've got to try and sort the foot out now. Now I've played with him, he's not going to want to stand, I don't think. So let's have a look, let's see how he looks. Right, so here we have him with the sword on. It's a different look, but I've got to admit, I think it kind of looks a bit sort of clunky. I think it'd probably look better if it was actually in his hand. And obviously you can put it on his back as well. Let's have a look at it on his back, actually. Got to take him out of shot a minute, just so I can do this. So, of course, quite a tight fit on his back, though. I've got to be honest, but this will be the part where he falls over again. it doesn't look too bad actually. I kind of like that. I think I might leave it on his back like that. That looks pretty cool. So while we're doing that, let's have a look at this attachment on the arm. So this attachment, like you saw earlier, it's like a kind of clamp thing, but it's got two purposes. Let's open it up, because if I'm right, I think it opens. Yeah, it does. Look, see? So you can have it like that, which looks quite cool. But it's also got another purpose, and I'll show you that in a minute. Let's have a decent look at him. Yeah, that looks quite good. It's a different type of attachment, isn't it? Yeah. Let's do a little swap-a-roo, and you can have a look at what I'm on about here. But I tell you what, he's a good-looking figure, though. He really is. They've done a really good job with this one. Now, it did also come with a bag. Different for them. They don't normally put them in these little paper bags, so this is new. Normally, I think it's plastic. Maybe this is something to do with the environment and that. I'm going to just take this to the side so I can get all the bits out. Let's have a look. What have we got here? Right, so we've got the hook. I'm not going to go through every single one of these attachments and put them on, because it is literally just the same guy with a different attachment. This one we will have a look at, and there's a reason for that. I'll show you that in a minute. And we'll probably have a look at this one as well, because that's quite cool. It's got a sword. Don't remember him having a sword. And I think that's it. That's all that you got in the bag. So, yeah, let's have a look. Right, so the eagle-eyed amongst you might have noticed that he now has a different coloured jaw, and that's because that bit on the clamp there comes off as a jaw. And it don't look too bad actually, it's a different look, but I've got to be honest, I kind of prefer the traditional look for him. It does look quite good. And it's different. It's not something I'd want to be switching over all the time now, because I've got to be honest, I think that this is quite flimsy. I think this would break if you was constantly pulling it on and off. This definitely is something that wouldn't last if a kid got hold of it, let's put it that way. But yeah, I do really like the look of this figure. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put his gun back on, put his original jaw back on, hook all his tools around his belt. I'm going to see if it can stand up, because that's obviously a lot of weight then as well. Anyway guys, I'm going to leave this one here, and I'll catch you on the next one.